Charlie Chaplin, the legendary actor and filmmaker, has left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. But what many people don't know is that behind the scenes, there's a dark secret lurking in plain sight. In this video, we'll explore the shocking reality of Charlie Chaplin's teenage brides and uncover the hidden truth about his personal life. Welcome back. You guys are the best. If this is your first time here, welcome. We love having you. Hit that subscribe button and let's get into this episode. By the 1920s, Charlie Chaplin was the biggest star on earth. Rich, powerful, and adored by millions. But while the public laughed, Chaplin had a type, and it was shockingly young. At age 29, he married 16-year-old Mildred Harris. Talk about a May-December romance. The marriage was rushed after she thought she was pregnant. It wasn't. A year later, Chaplin would marry 15-year-old Lita Grey, who also became pregnant. What a coincidence. After tying the knot in secret in Mexico to avoid a statutory rape charge, they had 2 kids. The divorce was one of the ugliest in Hollywood history. Lita accused him of abuse and multiple affairs. But even after 2 disastrous teen marriages, Chaplin didn't stop. He dated multiple young women. Most of them under 20, and people in the industry knew it. They joked about it. They looked the other way. To this day, Chaplin is celebrated. But his obsession with teen girls is treated like a footnote. His final wife, Una O'Neill, was just 18 when she married the 54-year-old. Yes, you read that right. That's a 36-year age gap. Their relationship was anything but a laughing matter. Her father, famous playwright Eugene O'Neill, disowned his daughter over the match. Critics called it predatory. So let's set the record straight. Here is the real story of Charlie Chaplin's teenage brides and the dark secret that haunted his legacy. It all began in 1918 when Chaplin met Mildred Harris, a teenager with dreams of becoming an actress. She was just 16 years old, and he was almost twice her age. Despite the significant age gap, they began dating, and soon the news of their romance spread like wildfire. The gossip columns went into a frenzy. People couldn't believe that the beloved tramp would date a girl so young. But Chaplin was smitten, and he proposed to Mildred. Within weeks, they were married. However, the marriage was doomed from the start. Mildred was too young for marriage, and she soon began to resent her husband's controlling nature. The pressure of being married to a superstar was intense, and she felt suffocated by the constant scrutiny. As if the age gap and the pressure weren't enough. Rumors swirled that Chaplin had married Mildred only because she reminded him of his late mother. This added another layer of complexity to their relationship and made it even more difficult for Mildred to find her place in this world. Despite the turbulent relationship, Mildred gave birth to a baby boy, but sadly, the child died after just 3 days. Devastated by the loss, Mildred filed for divorce. The split was messy and painful, but eventually they agreed to part ways. But Chaplin's problems were far from over. Soon he set his eyes on another young woman, Lita Grey, who was just 15 years old when she met Chaplin on the set of The Gold Rush. He was 36 years older than her. Despite the massive age gap and the disapproval of those around them, they began a relationship. When Lita became pregnant, Chaplin knew he was in trouble. If the news of her pregnancy got out, his career would be ruined, so he decided to marry her in secret. They traveled to Mexico, where the legal age of consent was lower, and tied the knot. Back in the U.S., Lita gave birth to their son, and Chaplin became a father again. However, the marriage was not without its problems. Lita was a teenager trying to balance motherhood with her acting career, while Chaplin was a middle-aged man who was constantly in the public eye. The pressure was intense, and the couple began to drift apart. Eventually, Lita filed for divorce, accusing Chaplin of infidelity and mistreatment. The divorce proceedings were nasty and expensive. In the end, Chaplin had to pay Lita a massive amount of money, which adjusted for inflation would be worth millions today. Throughout his life, Chaplin continued to date much younger women. most of them under the age of 20. It was no secret that he had a thing for teenagers. People in the industry knew about it, and some of them even joked about it. But somehow, it was overlooked and ignored. Perhaps it was because Chaplin was such a beloved figure that people were willing to look past his questionable choices. Or maybe it was because the studio system was so powerful that it could sweep scandals under the rug. Whatever the reason, the fact remains that Chaplin's teenage brides were a dark secret that haunted his legacy. As we celebrate his genius as a filmmaker and comedian, we must also acknowledge the uncomfortable truth about his personal life. Thank you guys for watching. We're so glad you're here. What do you think? Do you think this is something we should be talking about more openly? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below.